Hello again and welcome back, everybody, to another edition of the Rural Report. I am your Rural 2IC, and today we're going to continue another episode of the podcast, The Ugly Truth About SHTF. Now, I know I'm not my normal location. I'm doing a little something here at the house, so I just set up here and we'll see where this all goes. So, I see a lot of people that they start to have excuses, and some of them are complaints and whatnot about doing various things when it comes to preparedness, right? Um, some people think that if you take a few classes, that'll be enough. They'll get you by. Some people think that if you gather, a little bit of supplies here and there, right? I'll get this, I'll get that. I'll throw them in the closet, or I'll break them out and I'll try them a few times and things, and that'll be enough. Or they go to an event, they make a new friend, they do a little this, little that. That'll be enough, right? I understand that life tends to life, right? That we all have things to do. We have jobs, we have family, we have friends, we have interests, we have hobbies. We got to sleep, we got to eat, we got to do all sorts of things. I get it, right? And preparedness is not a hobby, right? It's not something that you just do in your downtime or when you're bored or a rainy Sunday afternoon. True preparedness is a lifestyle. And I think that there is people out there that have a false sense of security. And one of the things that I want to kind of touch on, at least in the beginning of this video, is to bring awareness to that. Because I understand we have things that we need to do, we have things that we want to do, we have just regular downtime, right? There's not really a whole lot going on. We've got, the dishes are done, the laundry's done. Maybe it's raining. We don't really want to go outside. Maybe it's late at night, maybe whatever. But if you have preparedness as a lifestyle, then the things that you do every single day help get you better prepared. There is a lot of things that you can do that is fun or enjoyable, right? There's different training that you can go out and do, that you can get outside and enjoy the fresh air, and you can be with other people and laugh and get really good training and get things accomplished, all with having that companionship of being with other people. There's things that you can do by yourself, right? And I know we're all different. Okay. I'm not naive to that fact, but to go outside and weed the garden, uh, you know, plant the things that you're going to eat. Have a strawberry bush or a blackberry bush, and grab you a handful and sit there and snack on something healthy that you grew yourself while you weed the garden, right? You're rewarding yourself for the work. There's a lot of things that you can go out and do. You can get the kids involved, right? A simple game of tag, it goes a long way. You're moving, you're thinking, you're strategizing, doing something like hide and seek, right? Oh, that's just a kid game, Earl. No, it's teaching you a lot about cover and concealment, right? It gets your mind working. Where I'm on a property, or I'm on, whatever, I'm at the park, I'm on neutral ground. Where can I go find cover and concealment, right? What is it to where they might not see me? What is it that puts a really good barrier? Um, and to really do it, especially in the summer months, we've been known that the person that is doing the seeking, guess what they get? They get water balloons, or they get some sort of super soaker squirt gun to make it fun, right? That'll teach you cover and concealment. uh, there's a lot of things that you can do that's fun for everybody, right? A little bit of water on a hot day doesn't hurt anybody. It's fun. You just have to be creative, and it's not about stealing, an idea or anything like that. If you've never thought of that, by all means use it, right? I'm not the one that came up with that. I saw somebody else doing it, and I was like, wow, that's a great idea. I'm going to incorporate that. That's what all this is about. When we come together and we network and we share ideas, we help better each other. You might be sitting there having that hard time, flexing your creative muscle, going, I want to get everybody involved, but I just don't quite know how to do it. Well, guess what? Right? You just watch a video or you read an article or whatever, and all of a sudden you go, wow, that's what I've been, really looking for. Then you share the story. Then you can help others, right? Somebody else might be looking for that same exact activity or goal or whatever else, but they're just not quite there, right? They can't put themselves right where that needs to be. And because you share, suddenly you just help them and you gave them that much needed activity or goal or whatever it is. So uh, keep in mind, sometimes it is the little things that are the most helpful to other people. So don't shy away and go, well, that's embarrassing, or I don't want to share my failure, or anything along those lines. No, it can greatly help other people, right? If I get something, and I've shared failure videos on here, if I do something or I get something and it's a complete failure, I want others to know about it. Same as my wins and my successes. Same with me having a problem. If I come across something and I've tried and tried and tried and I can't figure it out, okay, well, guess what? 10 minds, 100 minds, 1,000 minds can all come together and we can all solve the problem. That's what community is all about. We don't go through and we don't make each other feel bad, mock each other, and things like that. Now, I understand, yes, we all poke fun and tease each other, right? But, when it really comes down to it, we're there to help each other. And that's the way that communities should go. That's the way we should network. It's the people that we want to be around, is that when SHTF happens, right, it hits the fan, we want to count on these people. If you are a part of a group where you are constantly getting mocked and you are afraid to open your mouth and share a failure, you don't want to be around those people when it actually hits the fan, right? I don't want to count on them. I want to be around people that are supportive. Yeah, I want to joke and have a good time. It's okay to do all that fun stuff. We're human, but I want to be around those that want to see me do better. That's just the way that it should work. But I see it often in a lot of groups and a lot of different places. That's not the way it works, and I try my best to go, hey, maybe you should rethink this group that you're in, or maybe you should reevaluate what's important to you, right? Just because somebody is really great, right? They're the greatest of their field. If they're a toxic person, is it worth it, right? Is there other people out there that might be a better substitute and a much better fit? Uh, just throwing that out there, right? Just one of Rural's humble little things of something to think about. So, but let's continue. So as we go through and we kind of evaluate what's going on in our lives, if we have those complaints like, man, I really hate doing this, and because I dislike it, I don't do it very often. Well, what is that really going to do, right? Remember, honesty is one of the best things that you can do to yourself. Now, honesty is the best policy all the way around with anybody that you encounter for the most part. But we need to be honest with ourselves, because if we lie to ourselves and the situation turns bad, then we're going to have that false sense of security, right? Um, and again, I know it walks a fine line between things like hope and all that stuff, right? There's a difference, at least in my opinion, of giving yourself hope or giving yourself hyped up for something, right? Um, it's more of the mentality of it, but I think, and again, this is all of my opinion, that people aren't aware or they don't allow themselves to think outside of the box because they have lived in comfort for so long. And they are so used to the convenience of everything, right? We all loved having, the internet and air conditioning and a nice, comfy bed, and the way that we can do laundry and a refrigerator, and all the fun amenities of technology that life has for us now. But if SHTF comes, right? That whatever the event, put it in there, right? EMP, World War III, nuclear Armageddon, apocalyptic, alien riding unicorn, Yetis, whatever. That just put a mental image in my head. But anyway, if that event ever comes, we're probably going to lose a lot of that stuff, if not all of it. So why not slowly integrate some of that stuff? Now, I'm not saying, uh, go your entire life without amenities or luxuries or, things that are nice to have. No, we utilize the tools that we have at our disposal. You're going to do the same thing now as you will with SHTF. If you can flip a switch and have a light turn on, yes, I'm going to flip the switch. We don't make things harder on ourselves. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that we shouldn't train for it, right? Maybe pick a day on a Saturday or a Sunday or whatever and go, all right, every, one Sunday a month, I'm not going to flip a single light switch. I can use everything else. I can use the shower, the toilet, the stove, the microwave, everything, but I'm not going to flip on a switch. And see if you can do it. Okay. Now, I know there's a lot of people going, that's easy. Usually those are the people that have never tried it. Do you have flashlights at your disposal? Do you have candles? Do you have lanterns? Is everything charged, right? And go through and see. Because navigating your house and navigating your lifestyle and your routine, where you can't just suddenly flip on a light, suddenly you start to realize, right? Like, oh man, where's the extra batteries? Or, why did I put this here? I keep tripping on it. Or you're suddenly getting used to the dark and you go to get up and then you realize, oh, I forgot my flashlight. Oh, man, where did I put it? Right? Where somebody that utilizes a flashlight on a constant basis, they know where that flashlight is at all times, right? This little bit of training that we do, even though we can laugh at it and go, oh, that's not useful, that's junk or whatever. Actually, that little tiny bit of training adds up, right? You can make it more difficult. Once you've mastered not flipping a light switch, go through and say, like, all right, I'm not going to open the refrigerator for 24 hours. I'm not opening the fridge or the freezer, whatever is in the cupboard or the pantry or the shelf or whatever. That's all I'm allowed to have. And same thing, go 24 hours without turning on the faucet, right? How are you going to bathe? How are you going to brush your teeth? How are you going to cook, clean, do all the things, make coffee without turning on water? And just do it for 24 hours, right? Just do it for a small amount of time, hit and miss here and there, and suddenly you're going to start finding holes like, maybe I didn't have the amount of water that I thought I did, or I use a lot more water than I realized, or man, I really want to take a shower and I don't know how to get this water warm enough to where it's going to be comfortable to take a shower. You start finding those holes. And when you find those holes, guess what those are? Those are opportunities to better yourself and better your plan and make things better for if/when SHTF ever happens. Because if we can go through and we can firsthand experience the bad things, the negative things, the things that's going to affect us in a not so nice manner, then now's the time that we can go, oh, and we can jot that down and we can come back to it and go, when I tried that lights off experiment that Rural told me, or the not turning on water experiment that Rural suggested, I ran into these problems. Now we have them written down, we have them set, and we can start thinking about them, right? Go ahead and take a nice hot shower. Go ahead and turn the lights on so you can read your notebook and go, how do I solve these problems, right? Because I'd rather think about them now, right? Let's say that SHTF happens, January 1st. Okay, well, I've got weeks and weeks to sit there and better my plan and to think things out and to try and solve each and every one of those problems. Or would you rather just laugh and go, I don't got time for that? That's silly little games. And then January 1st happens and you go, maybe I should have done it, right? Regret is a powerful thing. Now, real clear, I'm not saying January 1st anything's going to happen. I'm using it as an example, as a silly timeline of, giving yourself a goal, right? To have a goal is to be clear and concise and give yourself a timetable. And, if you go, hey, I want to by, 2 months, I want to be able to navigate my entire house and not disrupt my routine if there's ever a power outage. And you can do it for a day, you can do it for 2 days, do it for whatever you're comfortable with. And then when you do it a time or two, you can start gauging your goal, right? Where am I? Am I having a ton of problems, a few problems? Most of the time, even people that are seasoned like me, right, I still run into problems here and there, right? The things just happen, and it might be something that may never happen again. It was just some freak, whatever accident or freak occurrence, but it's still a problem, right? One of the biggest things when SHTF goes on is the ability to recognize a problem and evaluate it, right? Assess it, think things through, and do, how do I get past this hurdle? How do I solve this problem? And sometimes you don't have to solve the problem, right? If you walk to the pond to go get water every day, and as you walk up there, there's a tree that fell. It's a really big tree, or it fell and knocked over several other trees, and you can't, go that way. Okay, well, can I walk around it, right? Can I just modify my path? Do I really have to solve that particular problem, or can I just, go this way? Or do I just need to walk this way for a time or two until I get the time and materials and help and tools and everything to chop up the trees so I can go back to my original, right? Sometimes we have to try and figure out which is going to be better, putting out all the time and the energy and the resources and everything to clear that path, or was it just going to be better for us to make a new path, right? There's difference when it comes to this, right? And something like that's going to be opinionated. Uh, some of you is going to say, well, just make a new path, right? Just walk around it. Others are going to say, chop up the tree and use the firewood and everything else. Some of you might go, well, find a different lake, right? There's a lot of different possibilities, and that's kind of the fun part about now being able to do these like war games and these scenarios with each other, so that way we can start utilizing our thinking power and our creativity and really start coming at a lot of these problems and trying to figure things out. So all right, and as we start going through and kind of winding this one down and putting a bow on it, don't be afraid to think outside of the box, okay? Especially now while we're at peacetime and we have time that we can evaluate things, collaborate, talk to one another, network our thoughts and ideas. While there's a working hospital, if there's an accident or something along those lines, while the stores are still opening, that we can replenish our resources and, do the things that we need to do if we make mistakes along the way. It's okay to go and think about everything when it comes to different scenarios, and I really challenge you, even if you don't have a group or a tribe or a mag or a team or whatever you're calling it, maybe it's just your family, have these war games and stuff with them. Maybe your family's not into it, get online, right? find some people in like my live streams, or all the other people it's on YouTube. Find some people and do it offline, right? Just go, hey, can we text, or can we email, or can we set up a chat room, or something, right? Find a way of communication and do it once a week, once a month, whatever. Make a time thing and go, hey, every Saturday at 7 p.m. One person is going to lay out a scenario, and we're all going to start, solving the problem, and go as in depth as you want. Start throwing out little things. Well, in the lake scenario, I would just walk around. All right, you walk around, but throw out something else. That way is full of a bunch of thorny berry bushes and things like that. So you would have to walk way down there. Do you still continue to go around it, or do you chop up the tree? Right? Maybe the answer is, okay, well, I went that way and it's thorny bushes, so why don't I go around the tree the other way? Right? I mean, just start thinking through everything. And you may be surprised on some of the creativity that some people have, right? And it may spark some creativity for you or for others if you're the creative person. And it can lead to some very interesting scenarios. And sometimes having that outside of the box thinker sometimes is a really, really, really good thing. Sometimes the conventional way, just for whatever reason, just is not working. It's not working. And when things like that happen, people get frustrated. A lot of morale starts to drop. People start wanting to give up and things like that. And having that outside of the box thinker going, why don't we just go over top the logs, right? We'll lay some whatever and we'll just ramp over them. You know what? That's crazy enough. It might work, right? So sometimes it's not a bad thing. And the important thing is to have the open mind to be able to listen. We don't have to accept ideas, but we can listen to them and evaluate them and go, no, that's really dangerous. It's not worth the risk, right? Or we can go, we've tried everything out. Maybe if we modify it a little bit, that idea might really work. So, but to kind of get back onto track here, make sure that you are incorporating preparedness into your everyday life, into your everyday routine, right? Things are usually a little scary or a little awkward when we're doing things for the first time. Change is not necessarily a good thing for a lot of people. To carry a firearm, right, concealed, to carry a EDC bag, right, you're not used to it. To do anything along those lines, you're changing your routine, you're changing what you've been doing. It can become difficult. It can become burdensome. You can have it to where it can get into your mind mentally, right? People's going to make fun of me, or people's going to look at me different, or whatever else. But you've got to force yourself. Just keep doing it. Just keep doing it. Just let it get part of your routine, because before you know it, all that will become routine. And during SHTF, when you've got to go out into the world and look for supplies, guess what you're doing, right? Before you walk out of the house, you immediately grab your firearm and put it in its holster, and you grab your EDC bag and you throw it over, and you grab your stuff and you head out. And you didn't think about it. Why? Because during peacetime, that was already routine, right? And that's kind of what we want to get to. We want to get to where the facets of what we can become routine. Going out and doing gardening, it's routine. We've been doing it during peacetime, so when it absolutely matters, we're already used to doing it, right? We're already used to the being out in the sun. We're already used to digging in the dirt and getting our hands dirty. We're already used to when it's harvest time and how to do it. All that becomes routine. And that's what we want to do, right? We want to be able to communicate. We want to be able to go out and do guard duty, right? Just walk around your neighborhood and then start, taking things like that in, seeing what sticks out, what doesn't look normal. Why? Because when SHTF happens, it becomes routine. I'm already familiarized with what is out of place, right? If I don't walk my neighborhood and SHTF happens, what is out of place? I don't know. Everything's out of place, right? So, familiarize yourself with a lot of the things. Think about it. If SHTF is going to happen, what is the things that I'm going to be doing? And what part of it can I do now to familiarize myself and make it part of my routine? I understand some things you're not going to be able to, right? You're probably not going to be able to practice or make routine going into an abandoned house and searching for supplies, right? We may never get to that part. And honestly, I hope we never do, right? I don't want some Walking Dead scenario or anything along those lines. I'd rather have my own supplies. But it is an option, right? And if things got terrible and it was really long term, going for a supply run may not be a terrible idea. So, but do what you can, right? Be smart about it. Use common sense and really start thinking and exploring and going, what is it that I can do to add to my daily routine, or to at least enough of a routine to where if SHTF is to happen, that I wouldn't mind it, right? I've already done this. I've been doing it, right? Maybe it's something, like gardening. Most of us only garden during gardening season. We don't do it year round. So, anything along the lines, right? Go at least familiarize yourself. Go at least get into a good habit to where you have a good understanding, and build some momentum in that and become more comfortable, and try your best to get as many things into a routine as possible. Because remember, prepping is a lifestyle. It's not a hobby. It's not something that we do for fun or when we're bored. We do it because it's just part of who we are. So, but thank you so much for letting me ramble for this amount of time. These will probably start becoming, I know I've been usually sticking to like 20 minutes ish, but these will probably start expanding to more of like 30-minute podcasts. So just FYI, I know some of you don't like really long form content, but I know some of you are begging for a lot longer content. So we're going to kind of see where everything goes with that. But again, thank you so much for hanging out with me and listening to this podcast. And I hope you guys have a great day, an amazing day, and a blessed day. Stay tuned because there's more information to come with that. Remain united because we're all prepping in this together. Night, everybody.